Guys, welcome back to Play on Footy. Today we're going to be looking at the Fremantle Dockers preview for 2025. If you haven't already, please hit the like button and smash the subscribe button. If you're into AFL and you're looking for more AFL content, we do here predictions, previews, ladder predictions, as well as some trade talk and AFL fantasy. So if that rings a bell for you and you really want more of it, smash that subscribe button, and Play on Footy is that channel for you. Now, let's get into the Fremantle Dockers. Now, Fremantle Dockers are one of those teams where, they haven't won a flag, okay? When they came into the AFL, it was 1995, and they are starving for some success in the AFL landscape. And for them, that is a premiership. They've had Justin Longmire for, 3 or 4 years at least. And there's been no real, headway with anything. So I really do hope, and this is my prediction, I'll tell you towards the end of the video, but I'll let you guys know where I think Fremantle will finish up this year. They've got an exciting, talented list, and they do have players, or they did nab a player that has come from a successful club that has won premierships. So I think that may be the missing ingredient that they are so desperately needing right now to go to that next level. But first of all, let's have a look at these faces here, and you can see already there's only 8 players listed on the screen, but there's a lot of talent. And in particular, Caleb Sarong, Jordan Clark, and Andrew Brayshaw. Fife's a little bit past at the moment, and Darcy just can't get his body right. But they are just the facts. This is not a critique video. This is not a critical assessment. This is just where they are, where I see them going, and the players that are going to get it done, or they're just along for the ride. But Caleb Sarong had a pretty good year last year. Him and Andy Brayshaw are the two powerhouses in the middle there. And, he's winning a lot of the ball. In terms of AFL fantasy, I'd still probably pick Andy Brayshaw over Caleb Sarong. I just think he has a bit more duality with his role and a bit more versatility as well than Caleb Sarong. But Caleb Sarong might surprise a couple of people. He might come above Andrew Brayshaw. We've got to wait and see for that. But, and a lot of that will come from the Indigenous game, potentially. That's going to be played this week. It's going to be really interesting to go and see that game as well. These two guys are just the key to Freo's success. Fifey played pretty much more forward than anywhere else last year. A little bit in the middle sometimes to help out these two guys. Not as much as he probably had wanted to. Jago Mira, obviously, is just getting to that pointy end of his career now. Same with Fife, but he's contributing effectively somewhat to the team. And then you've got Jordan Clark, who's off that half back, and he came from Geelong Cats, but he's been, ever since he's been at Freo, it's been fantastic to see him watch him play. I think he's incredible what he does. Luke Jackson, likewise, in the ruck there with Darcy, he's pivotal for Fremantle to keep climbing the ladder and play finals this season in 2025. Mikey Walters, he's basically coming to the end of his career as well. James Aish came from Collingwood to Fremantle. He's been solid. I wouldn't say he's right up there, but he's a solid contributor now and again. As well as Luke Ryan down back. Now, he's not AFL fantasy ready this season in 2025, but he's going to be pivotal to Fremantle's back six setup. And Jeremy Sharp playing more of a wing, I would say, this season in 2025. He was running off half-back a couple of times there and through the middle. But I think, Justin Longmire is going to put him on the wing this season. Shai Bolton, the new prize recruit, is going to be playing forward, probably in a half-forward role, wearing the number 15. And look, he's probably a player that Fremantle have really been chasing for a long time now, and that's really to replace this guy, Michael Walters. They need a pressure forward that's really crafty in and around the ground to help out other forwards, I think he's coming at the right time to the club, especially leaving Tigers a bit of a sinking ship. So I think he left at a great time there. Will Brodie just unfortunately has not broken to the side. I really feel for this guy. Came from the Suns, and yeah, he just hasn't found his feet. I think the increasing pressure of midfield spots, because he's a midfielder, has or is prevalent, and it really is affecting him, I think. And even if he signed up with the Eagles, he might be able to break in. But I think people are chasing youth, and unfortunately, youth is not on his side anymore. Liam Reedy, yeah, he's definitely going to be in there for Darcy for the beginning of this couple of rounds, I reckon. And he showed promising signs end of last year. He's a solid ruckman. I actually rate this guy. He's got a lot of upside, a lot of potential. I don't have him in my AFL fantasy, but he's definitely going to be a ruckman to watch, especially if Darcy just can't get his body right. He's going to be really good in there to help Luke Jackson as well. Quinton Narkle's come from Geelong to Fremantle Dockers. Again, he's at the back end of his career. I don't really know what Fremantle really envisage with him going forward. Patrick Voss was a key forward, or is a key forward, I should say, and he's definitely going to be helping Tracy and Amos there as well. There's Jai Amos, and so yeah, he's a pivotal piece of the puzzle for the Fremantle Dockers long term, as he's young and definitely has a lot of upside going forward. Jai Amos, number 24, he's definitely put on some bulk and size following last year. He had a couple of nasty concussions which weren't too great for him. But this season, I think he's going to be definitely chasing a lot more of that forward sort of role and pressure, especially with he's the Batman and Robin, which is Tracy. So yeah, I think those guys are going to work well together this season in 2025. Alex Pearce, the captain, is going to be leading them once again as captain, and he's definitely going to be pivotal for them in the back half. But he's definitely got a lot of potential to even be that person that could go forward and back. There were times last year where he did that, so there are those sort of factors to consider. But he's a very handy player and probably the future Tasmanian Devils captain, to be honest with you, coming from Tasmania. And Hayden Young, he's definitely. I think he signed a 9-year contract extension. I didn't even know if that was possible in this day and age, but it is. He's signed it. It's fantastic news for Fremantle Dockers and for himself. He's a great midfielder. He definitely puts his head and heart over the footy. And another one here is Neil Erasmus. A lot of positive signs coming out of the Waffle last season. He did score very highly in the Waffle. Just again hasn't been able to break through with how competitive the midfield spots have been at Fremantle. But I definitely see a lot of upside with Neil Erasmus. Cooper Simpson, the forward. Again, no more Schultz for Fremantle Dockers, so potentially he could step up this season. Nathan O'Driscoll does what Nathan O'Driscoll does. Yeah, very good player. Walker and Frederick, again, very handy players in their defence, in their own right. Very good to have in the Fremantle side. Josh Tracy, as I said before, with Jai Amos, definitely going to be tag teaming quite well with him. Brendan Cox, another key defender to watch. He's very good, and as well as Corey Wagner, who's come up through the ranks. He's a very, very handy player indeed. Sam Swikowski, obviously in the forward half, is not to be taken lightly either. He's definitely got a lot of upside and definitely one to watch with a bit of a hawk eye. Joshua Draper is, again, coming up through the ranks, one of the younger players. And from what I've seen already, Fremantle have a good spread of sort of more mature age to then the more sort of younger aged recruits that are just trying to blood a bit of game time into, which is good to see anyway. And then you got Bailey Banfield, who has been neither here nor there. Bit of a fringe player. I don't really know where 2025 will take Bailey Banfield. Big question mark over him going forward. And then, Aiden Riddle, bit of a ruck stock there. So, but overall, they've got some good young players that are just trickling through there at Fremantle. Jeremy Sharp will be very interesting to see how he develops throughout this season. I do predict an even more breakout a year for Jeremy Sharp. That's my tip for you guys. But what do you guys reckon? Comment down below, like and subscribe. Where do you see Fremantle sort of finishing up? Who's your breakout player for this season? Who's a player that's probably on the fringes and going to be leaving this season? How do you guys rate Freo's setup and squad? For me personally, this is just pure, obviously, speculation. It's a bit of a preview for this before the season starts, but I would want to see, and also I'd probably it would come down to the fact that I would rate Fremantle to be in the grand final this year. I think they've got a good enough list. If this man can get his body right, the sky's the limit for Fremantle Dockers, and they have done that countlessly. Every year they put their hopes and dreams onto the back of Sean Darcy. So we shall wait and see, but hopefully we can get things sorted at the Fremantle Dockers, and perhaps they can finally taste success with the first maiden premiership. But what do you guys reckon? Comment down below, like, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one.